I was hopelessly in love with Pei Yanbei. When I learned he was my arranged marriage partner, I agreed without hesitation. But right after our wedding, Pei Yanbei vanished without a trace for 3 whole years. He didn't reappear until a month after my family declared bankruptcy. By then, I was no longer the little girl who looked at him with stars in her eyes. Our arranged marriage contract had 1 month left when he walked in unannounced in a black wool coat. I was kneeling on the floor, making tea for his mother. He jumped up excitedly, knocking over a teacup with her sleeve. Scalding tea splashed onto my hand, and the sharp pain jolted me awake. Pei Yanbei's cold gaze met mine. I quickly looked away to clean up, and he frowned almost imperceptibly. His mother pulled him down to sit right in front of me. I could feel his eyes fixed steadily on the top of my head. "I need to talk to you," he said, his deep voice as nice as ever. I stared up blankly, bracing for divorce, blame, or revenge, and finally whispered, "Okay." In his study, Pei Yanbei tapped his fingers on the desk. I twisted the hem of my clothes nervously, praying he would end the contract early or take revenge for the arranged marriage. "You've worked hard these years," he said. I froze. No scolding, no anger. Instead, the corner of his eye curved into a faint smile. "What did you think I was going to say?" He held out an unlimited black card. "Consider this payment for taking care of my family." I looked down to hide my disappointment. To him, I was just a hired nanny. I took it without pretense. I needed the money badly. I fought for 3 years abroad and finally secured my position in the company, Pei Yanbei explained. The marriage was arranged by our elders. We were too young to refuse. But things are different now. I won't be a prison any longer. Rumors had long spread that he'd come back to divorce me. I swallowed the bitterness in my chest and nodded calmly. "All right, let's get a divorce." 3 years of waiting, and the mockery from everyone around me, had burned out all my passion. Only a faint tremor in my heart remained. Pei Yanbei spoke inferiorly. I was managing overseas branches these 3 years, squeezing out time even to eat and sleep. In a family like ours, you only get the right to say no when you hold power. He said he'd been forced to end things with his 8-year sweetheart to marry me. And now that he'd inherited control, his first move was to set me free. I rubbed the black card in my hand and missed the brief flicker in his eyes when I said divorce. "Is this what you've always wanted?" he asked. I thought of the isolation and ridicule it endured. My eyes cleared, then hardened. "Yes." Pei Yanbei acted fast. The next day, his assistant arrived with divorce papers. The financial terms were generous. 1. A cash settlement of 50 million RMB. 2. A 10% stake in his company. I skipped over everything else and pointed to the assets. "I don't want the shares. Give me the house in Nanwan." The assistant hesitated, then spoke into his earpiece. "Agreed," came Pei Yanbei's voice. I signed and exhaled. In 30 days, I would finally be free. 3 years earlier, my grandfather had accidentally found my love letter to Pei Yanbei. He'd begged a piece for the marriage, even giving up major interests. It'd been overjoyed. But on our wedding day, Pei Yanbei arrived more than an hour late. Everyone watched and laughed when we exchanged rings. His hand shook so badly I struggled to slip the ring on. I told myself good things take time. The day after the wedding, he left without a word. My family and I became the laughingstock of our circle. Now my family was broken. Grandfather was dead, my parents gravely ill. I ran between hospitals and our ruined home. When our company collapsed, it begged Pei Yanbei for help, but my messages went unanswered. I finally understood he hated my family. I sat beside my unconscious mother. "Mom, I'm getting a divorce. You'll support me, right?" A crash came from the next ward. I followed the noise on impulse. Through a gap in the crowd, I saw a girl with bandages covering her face standing on the windowsill, hysterical. "Hey, Yanbei," I was trying to calm her. "I found the best doctors in the world. Your face will heal." She screamed she wanted the dam. Desperate. Pei Yanbei, I blurted, I'll marry you. No one will dare hurt you then. He pulled her into his arms. Her eyes locked onto mine through the crowd. I recognized her at last, Yunnan. Pei Yanbei's long minus time love. My heart felt stabbed by a dull blade, a wound that had barely scabbed or open again. I had no courage left. I just wanted to run. I dragged my suitcase out. His mother snapped, "What are you throwing a fit about now?" "I've divorced Pei Yanbei." "What?" She stared in disbelief, furious that no one had consulted her. I didn't want to take her anger. I bowed deeply and left without looking back. She had never liked me, and she had blamed me for driving her son away. It spent 3 years making up for his absence. I thought she'd be glad we were divorcing, but she looked angrier than ever. I saw Pei Yanbei again at a business banquet. I was there to sell my family essential goods, when a lecherous middle-aged businessman cornered me, making inappropriate advances. I tried to leave, but someone grabbed my wrist. "What do you think you're discussing with my wife?" Pei Yanbei's voice was icy with anger. The man apologized and fled. I froze. Was he protecting me? But that a friend of mine. How did you end up like this in just 3 years? Junan walked up and linked her arm through his, eyes gleaming with triumph. He and Bia's words cut deeper. If I hadn't come, would you really have slept with him? Every bit of my old affection felt like a joke. A gunshot shattered the tension. In the chaos, I watched Pei Yanbei drag Junan toward the door without a backward glance. The last spark of hope in my heart died completely. I fled with the crowd, twisting my ankle. I leaned against a pillar, palm stinging from the cold marble. I limped toward the side exit. Quick footsteps came from behind. A strong hand clamped around my wrist. I turned and stared into Pei Yanbei's anxious eyes. His hair was messy, his breathing ragged. And Junan was not with him. "Why are you running?" he said. "You hurt your ankle. Why didn't you treat it?" I struggled. "Mr. Pei, we're divorced. Don't trouble yourself." He ignored me and bent to check my injury. I flinched away, and he froze, frowning harder. In the car, he broke the silence. "I had the Nanwan house renovated. Change it if you don't like it. And the 10% company shares, you have to take them." "You earned them." "Pei Yanbei, we're divorced. Stop pestering me. You're going to marry Junan. Be good to her and leave me alone." His knuckles whitened on the steering wheel. "You want me to marry her that badly?" There was a trace of hurt in his voice. I looked out the window. "That's your choice. None of my business." Against my will, I asked, "Is Junan okay?" He was quiet for a few seconds. "She's fine." "Good. I wish you both happiness." The door closed. I broke down crying. "Stupid Tangnian, why are you still crying?" "It's over." 1 month after the divorce, my family's goods sold, and my mother showed signs of waking up. The 2nd month, Junan came to warn me to stay away from Pei Yanbei. They were getting engaged. Soon after, my mother woke up. The 3-year dark cloud finally lifted. Then Pei Yanbei's mother called, her voice gentle. "Kenny Onion, we wronged you. Some in the Pei family hated the marriage for driving Yanbei away, others hated it for letting him seize power. I begged them not to harm you, but they said only the strong survive. I've seen everything you've done. Yanbei is not heartless toward you." I thanked her calmly. Thank you. But we're finished. Have a good life." I hung up and looked at the sunlight. I felt nothing. The past was just a dream. Now I was awake, ready to start over. I poured myself into work and caring for my parents. Our business slowly recovered. One day, my assistant brought an engagement invitation. Pei Yanbei and Junan. I glanced at it and threw it in the trash. On their engagement night, I took my mother to the park. Later, Pei Yanbei called, his voice disappointed. "Why didn't you come?" "Why should I?" "Mr. Pei, congratulations on your engagement." "Goodbye." And he stopped me. He hesitated and said nothing. "Never mind. Goodbye." I smiled. "Goodbye, Pei Yanbei." A month later, I finished all paperwork and moved back to my hometown in the south with my parents and company. The south was warm and green year minus round. The small lane smelled of breakfast and fresh grass. My mother recovered quickly, my father returned to woodworking. My business thrived. On quiet days, we visited ancient towns and watched boats float down rivers. All my pain melted in the gentle Watertown air. I thought I would never see Pei Yanbei again. And one day, while walking with my parents, a disheveled, red-minded man blocked our path. It was Pei Yanbei. His eyes held a sorrow I cowed and dread. My father pushed my mother away and said softly, "Talk properly. Don't run. Tanai and I finally found you." We sat in a dessert shop. Pei Yanbei cowed and looked away from me. I pushed a bowl toward him. "Try it. It tastes different here. I thought I'd never see you again. Are you doing well?" "Very well." Pierre went still. Then Pei Yanbei spoke, his voice shaking but clear. "Tang Nyan. I love you." The words rippled through my calm heart. I paused, spoon in hand, and looked up. His eyes burned with sincerity and vulnerability you'd never seen. "Pei Yanbei, you're crazy." "I'm completely sober," he said, grabbing my hand. His palm burned. "I didn't understand why you wanted a divorce. I thought you wanted freedom, so I let you go. But I can't let you go." I pulled my hand away, calm again. "You knew the marriage was only 3 years, but you left anyway. You came back and told me you wanted to end it. Now you say you love me. Do you really think he'll believe you?" I had loved him so deeply that I'd never forgotten one kind sentence from years ago. In high school, lost and confused about my future, Pei Yanbei had sat next to me after basketball and said softly, "What others say is just a reference. If it makes you unhappy, ignore it." It carried those words with me ever since. When we got engaged, he didn't recognize me as that girl. I didn't know he had a lover. We dated like any couple. And I truly believed we'd be happy. But his late wedding, his 3-year disappearance, they shattered everything. "Pei Yanbei," I begged, "let me explain. Give me one chance." "One last time." "Go ahead. I thought your family forced you into this. I tried to grow close to you, but I felt you never liked me. I wanted to set you free, but I had no power. I thought I'd be back soon, but I was." "What about Junan?" I cut him off sharply. He sat up urgently. "Junan is my comrade's sister. Just mentally unstable since he died. There was never anything between us. The years of misunderstanding finally cleared, but I felt nothing." "Give me one more chance, please," he pleaded. "No," I said without hesitation. HED told his side. "What about mine?" 3 years of isolation. Blame from his family. My desperate pleas for help unanswered. HED lost himself in power struggles and blamed me. He said he did everything for me, but he never asked what I wanted. "Hey Yanbei, I once loved you more than anything. But your love came too late, cost too much. I don't want it anymore." Sunlight streamed through the shop window, warm and bright. I looked at the broken man in front of me, and the last of my obsession faded away. I stood up. "Pei Yanbei, let's end this here. I'm going to live my own life now." I walked out. The southern wind brushed my face gently. The road ahead was clear, with no more shadows.